All right. Well, I really focus on our education and community stakeholder engagement that occurs with this project. So the core of this project is a data science and informatics project called FEWSION, led by Dr. Ben Ruddle at NAU. And that project has focused on consolidating, fusing, and visualizing data for supply chains across the United States. But what we initiated to complement that and to really broaden the impacts and look for applications is a community engagement process that we call FEWSION for Community Resilience. One thing that we found is that there's a lot of publicly available data, and that's what FEWSION has worked on, is visualizing data at the state and county level for food, energy, water, and other supply chains. However, there tends to be a disconnect or a gap between that and the local level information or the local activities that are taking place in these supply chains and systems. So we designed a process that initiated with citizen science and has expanded to other aspects of education and coursework, where we bring together collaborative cohorts of researchers along with citizen scientists and community stakeholders to try to collect and piece together the puzzle between the local level data and what's going on nationally. In this process that we've designed now, it's a process that really focuses on three core activities that we build in everything we do. One of those is a process of collaborative learning, where we learn about local communities, in addition to some of the training and education that takes place for using data tools and thinking about supply chain systems. Another aspect is embedding research activities and tasks, where we collect data on local level facilities for food, energy, and water systems, and then we visualize and typically map that data for people to review and test. And then at the center of this whole process, we really believe that local stakeholders and individual organizations in communities can best identify how it can be applied and what types of policies are most important for their community. So we have aspects that we iterate through to ensure that communities can lead and identify what's used in data sources that they're able to control and then leverage for future planning and resilience. In terms of goals or outcomes of this process, we hope that individuals and organizations improve their skills in using data tools and things that are leveraged out of the FEWSION project. We look for an increase in data-driven discussion and decision-making focused on community issues. We look for increasing and improving connections between stakeholders in a community. And then we're continuing to work to help contribute to the body of knowledge for research in these areas. As far as most important lessons that I've found in the last few years in working on this project, I'll start maybe with the question. The question that is always in the back of my mind is, how can we continue to improve this process? This is something that is living and active. Every community has its own specialties and amazing things about it. And so we can always learn more about how to make this adoptable and have a framework that can be utilized and adapted for communities throughout the world. We have found a couple of key things in our initial cohorts, student groups, and community stakeholder networks. One is that ensuring that there is dedicated time for open and safe discussion and collaboration about data collection is key. And another is that it's essential to build both technical and social capacity to focus on data-driven inquiry within communities and in working with stakeholders. So I'm going to keep working on this process. We are open to collaborations. FEWSION for Community Resilience is something that we now have pilot communities in Guam, Alaska, New Mexico, across the Intermountain West. So we're continuing to expand this conversation and look at how we as the US and as members of the global world and community can come together to look at management of resources and policies for the future. We're looking forward to actually a summer training and research conference that we'll host here in Flagstaff, Arizona. And if you'd like to learn more about this project or those items, then please visit our website at fewsion.us. And I'll pause there and open it up to questions.